Hey, sugar. Okay, so I fresh face. I ain't did no makeup. I ain't doing none of that because I had to just come right here. And I'm in a new studio. I'm at my brother's pad watching my niece. So if I'm whispering or talking really low, that's why. Because I don't want to wake baby up. But I had to come here and talk to y'all about you because I'm shook. I'm shook and a little slightly annoyed. Um, let's talk about these characters first. Okay, if you're not familiar with You, You is a series on Netflix. We are in the second season. Running down the first season, Joe. He was Joe last season. So Joe is crazy. He was crazy then, and he's crazy now. And he's gonna be crazy in season 3. But we talking about season 2 right now. But anyway, Joe is a guy who stalks his prey, gets his prey, kills his prey. So in season 2, we have a new setting. He's in LA. And just so you guys know, I'm not going to do a run through of the whole season, episode by episode. I'm just going to talk about the things that stood out to me. But yeah. So Joe Will is in LA now. He done kidnapped this man, stole his apartment. Sorry for the spoilers if you haven't watched it. Go watch it. He kidnapped a man. The man took his identity, so that's how he came to be Will Bettelheim. I can't remember, but Joe Will is what we gonna call him. So yeah, he kidnapped the man, and the man is in his cage, the same cage he had Beck in last season. He gets there, and he gets this job right away at this bookstore, and he gets this apartment right away, and like all of those things are just falling into place, and it's like, this is suspect. I knew that something was off when he got the job. When he got the job, and you just are conveniently now, again, working in a bookstore, it's like, come on, Joe Will. Come on. You're not slick. You are not slick. And see, in season 1, they showed us his crazy right off the bat. We saw him stalking this woman. We saw him, basically insert himself into her life so that he could be with her. This go round, it's almost as if Love is the love interest. Her name is Love. She, right off the bat, I didn't trust her. I was thinking, is she working with Candace? Because Candace is from last season as well. Candace is an ex-girlfriend of his who he thought he killed. He thought he buried her, but he buried her alive. She was not dead. She got herself out and she came back. That is how season 1 ended, with Candace showing back up. And so Candace has him on a, she's, threatening him, and, got him a little nervous about, her going to the police or whatever her plans are. She's just like, I got plans for you. You wait and see. I got plans for you. And he's nervous. And so he leaves. And that's how he ends up in LA. I was thinking that Candace had gotten there, before that, or followed him, and she and Love that had got together and they just gonna get him. Because Love was really, really, really aggressive. Like, coming to his house, just all in his face, being thirsty. And I'm thinking, girl, he a serial killer. I know she didn't know that, but who does that? With complete strangers. You just showing up at their house. We could have never saw you again, Love. Like, you don't know him like I know him. Joe Will is crazy. Anyway, Joe Will is, he then, right. This is what I was saying. They made it seem like he, like she kind of fell in his lap almost. They had us thinking, dang, this is too good to be true. Like, she's like 10 steps ahead of him. Like, she's more intuitive. Like, love was different. And then come to find out, he was stalking her too the whole time. He had got there, saw her walking across. He was walking across the street and saw her just like that, like randomly. And in Joe Will fashion, he stalked her, followed her, looked her up, created a social media presence and all of that. In which he didn't have one when he got to LA because the landlord pointed that out. She's like, you don't have no social media. Like, what's that about? He gave her some stupid excuse. And people always buy Joe Will's excuses. Anyway, his landlord, Delilah, she has a little sister, Ellie, and Ellie is too grown for my liking. Ellie all in Joe Will face. That's another thing. It's just like, I would look at him and think creeper. Not, oh, let me spark up a conversation with this random man. And then, girl, you're 15 years old. Like, so Joe Will should have been paying you dust. I wouldn't have stopped and said 2 words to her. Do you know what that looks like? And you right off the back, where's your supervision? And if you're not familiar with this, Joe Will does a lot of talking to himself in his head. That's like the majority of his acting. It's through facial expressions, which I love. Like, he's a good actor to convey all of those different emotions just, with his face. And he's kind of narrating in his head. He has speaking parts as well, but for the most part, we just be hearing Joe's thoughts. And he going back and forth. Because he want to be a new person in LA. He don't want to be the same guy that he was in New York, but he want to be a new guy in LA. So when he sees her, he automatically is like, she don't have no supervision. I got to save her. I got to watch her. Who's around? Where are her parents? So he's already trying to make her his charity case. In his apartment, he has, I want to call it a telescope. But do telescopes allow you to see, and this might be a really dumb question, but I really want to know, because I have a telescope. And when I look through my telescope, I don't see nothing. Like, I don't see people across the street. I don't see all the way into their home. Like, it's supposed to be, seeing the stars, right? Like, I'm not sure. What is it it's not, I'm not even finna make myself sound any more silly by trying to figure out what that thing is called. But he was looking through it, from his window. And I could tell, I was like, that girl must live in the neighborhood. He's stalking somebody. He's trying to stalk somebody. Like, otherwise, why do you have it? Come to find out, he was stalking the girl. Love does live across the way, and he can see right into her apartment from his apartment. Well, from the real Will's apartment. He goes and visits the real Will every now and then. And the real Will is, deeply involved in the black market and that whole dark world type of stuff. So I think he stole his identity too. Or he made it up. I can't remember, but Will was cool with not being found because he was safe, because he had folks on his tail. He owed somebody some money. And this is when Joe Will had, shows his true colors again. The guy that was looking for the real Will showed up to, where the cage is, and he's like, here's the real Will. I just took his identity, so whatever you want, there he is, you can have him. And that guy's like, no, I want my money. That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna be enough. And there's a tussle, and Joe Will, before I know it, done killed a man. Now he got to get rid of a body. He cuts him up, turns that man into hamburger helper, turns him into ground beef. I'm just like, Will is crazy. Excuse me, Joe Will. Joe Will is a nutcase. Love her people. Season 1, Joe Will killed all of Beck's friends pretty much. Like anybody that was gonna come in between that. But the thing is with Love and her friends, because she was so aggressive and so forward with everything, it kind of caught him off guard. He wasn't able to be the stalker he wanted to be. But then again, he did. So I don't know why they made us think that Joe Will had, gone about this differently, because he didn't. He didn't. He was still stalking that girl. Love has 3 best friends, 2 of which are a couple. I don't remember the girl's name. I don't remember their name. I don't remember none of her friends' name. But she had these 3 friends, 2 girls and a guy. And her brother 40, her twin brother. And she liked to say he was codependent, but she was codependent and she got on my nerves. You don't tell people, yeah, I have a brother. I know you're dating me, but we come as a package. So when you date me, you're going to get him. And I'd be like, well, I don't want neither one of y'all. I'm not dating him. I'm dating you. So no, you don't come as a package deal. Like, how do you tell somebody that when you want to date them? That essentially, I'm going to always put my brother before you. Girl, bye. Good night. Nobody, you can just be you, and you can too can, in my Martin voice, y'all two can get together and live happily ever after in your singleness as brother and sister. If y'all got to come as a package deal. Girl, good night. Love got on my nerves from beginning to end. If it wasn't her stupidity that got on my nerves, it was just her character alone. I don't know. I was not here for Love. She got on my nerves. More than Joe Will. And Joe Will gets on my last nerve, being so crazy. And I think it's the white privilege that really annoys me. It really annoys me because he gets away with everything. He can just talk his way out of everything. And it's like, how long are the writers going to continue to do that? It's time for Joe Will to go to jail. It's time for Joe Will to, reap what he's been sowing. Either he got to die or he got to go to jail. But either way, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of Joe Will getting away with his crimes and getting away with being such a crazy person. And this season was pretty. It was kind of dry. Like every so often there would be a suspenseful moment, like when he killed that man. But other than that, it was kind of this back and forth, this love story, and I don't care about that. I don't want to see that, because Joe doesn't deserve love. They give us a backstory on Joe. Last season, it was his flashbacks to his childhood were when he, I guess he moved into the bookstore. I guess the one that he was working at, the owner, took him in and abused him just like his family did, just like his father did. And they showed us that this season that, he and his mother were abused by his dad. He killed his dad when he was 9. So Joe been a murderer since murdering. he done killed that man at 9 years old, turned around and killed all them people last season, and he back to it. But swear he's a different person. Swear that's not the guy that he is. And I think I get annoyed with the writing because it's like evil is not going to prevail. So why do y'all keep portraying it that way? I don't want to see him getting away with this. I don't want to see that. I want to see Joe Will go to jail. I want to see Joe Will meet his demise. I'm tired. He ends up kidnapping Delilah, and Delilah was smart to not trust him. She didn't trust him from the beginning, and she was smart. But then she got vulnerable, and he gained her trust, and I think they smashed like once or twice. Um, there's a police officer involved, and like Will, I think Will killed 2 people this go round. I'm trying not to spoil it like so bad, but listen, if you're watching this, then you probably have watched it, and if not, sorry, go watch it. Like, I'm not responsible for y'all's, finishing this stuff in an untimely manner. Go on and watch it and get her done so I don't have to bite my tongue. And which I'm not. I'm not biting my tongue. I'm just going to tell y'all everything that I saw that stuck out. And all of that killing that he did last season. I was proud of him for letting Will go. He let Will out the cage. I didn't like that whole Candace thing was just left up in the air, because Candace did try to warn them about Joe Will, and Love sent her on her way, gave her some money and sent her on her way. Like, so she she's still gonna stand by Joe Will all the way up into the end. Love done even shown us who she is. She's a killer as well. They are both 2 serial killers. So, yeah, in a way, they deserve one another. But I found myself, like, rooting for Joe Will, towards the end when he was in captivity himself, and he was getting ready to get Love all the way together. She's scrum pregnant, the baby. That should have been even more reason for him to just go on and cut her. Go on and do it. Her and that baby. Because that baby's going to be a killer too. Y'all don't need to be breeding nothing. They don't need to be bringing nothing into the world with the mess they got going on right now. She done killed her babysitter back in the day. This is Love I'm speaking about. She done killed Delilah. She done killed Candace. Like, and both of them. Why do you say? Because they're crazy and because they love each other. Like, y'all not about to make this normal. Like, people don't do that. That's not how you get rid of problems. You don't say, your friend don't like me for you. I gotta kill her because she's gonna talk you out of being with me. I gotta kill her. This person can't see it for me. Oh, well, I got to kill them too. That's Joe Will's mentality. By any means necessary, I'm going to get my girl and we're going to be happy. And with her, with Love, it's the same thing. By any means necessary, I'm going to have my family. I'm going to have my husband and my child. Oh, excuse me, her daughter, as she said, because she just got a feeling. I'm tired of these writers. I want them to do better. I want something different next season. Like, are they going to be a duo serial killer team? I mean, because the way that it ended out, Joe Will got his sights on somebody else. Somebody else he about to stalk. His neighbor, his next door neighbor. So I wonder how Love is going to feel about that when she sees that this is just who he is. He is not going to change. There cannot be good after this. Like, he's crazy. He is just crazy. Insane. So, I don't know, but I'm sick of Joe Will. I'm sick of Love. Both of their ass can go, as far as I'm concerned. And I hope, and I'm pretty sure next season, Joe Will gonna have to kill Love. And then what? You got a baby because you want to stalk the neighbor. Like, why? I don't understand what his problem is. Like, you can really just be walking down the street, walk past him, and if he like what he see, he will stalk you. He gonna find your social media and stalk you. He gonna up and get a job at your job so that he can run it. Like, it's insane. And you have people, I know people that support all of Joe's antics, and I don't see it. I know that this is fictional and that this is just a series, but I don't want this shit breeding craziness all throughout the land because they making it normal. They making it normal to say, oh, well, if you can't, if you don't get what you like in life, kill somebody. Because that's Joe's thought process every time. Should I kill him? Maybe not. Should I kill him? No, I've changed. Like, you can't think of nothing else to do in between going from 0 to killing. You couldn't think of nothing else to do. He couldn't find another way to get people off his back or to get people to like him or whatever the case may be. Because had Beck's friends not liked him, he would have killed them too. I was sad to see 40 go because I was definitely team 40. And I also thought that Love was going to be the one to kill 40. Like, I thought that in the end she was just going to be like, you know what? I'm sorry, brother, but you got to go. You got to go. I mean, Joe Will was thinking it. He was sure enough going to kill your brother Love and not think twice about it. And then I wondered then what she would have done. Would she have been okay with that? Because she was fine with knowing about all of the stuff he did. But I got darkness in me and I saw the darkness in you and da-da-da-da-da and blah, 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 blah. And let's be together. We're both serial killers. Let's do it. White people are crazy. These particular ones, these particular queer people on this show. I just can't do nothing but roll my eyes. I'm looking forward to the next season though, but I hope that in the next season, Joe Will gonna go to jail, and he gonna still be Will, so I guess we gonna ride out with that alias. He just gonna be Joe Will. What did they do with Candace's body? Like, Candace's body is it still just outside the storage unit? What did they do with it? They still ain't got rid of Delilah. Well, at least they didn't show us what they did with her body. He done gave Ellie some money to disappear, and I hope Ellie come back and get his ass. I hope she find him with the cops. I would drain him for every dollar he got. Him and what was their last name? Quinn. Him and the Quins. Drain them for all they got, Ellie, since he want to send you off into the world without nobody. I was so mad about that. Like, he had no regard. No regard. It's just, I gotta protect Love. Man, Love. I don't care about her. Where is my sister, man? Where is she? Po Thang ain't got nobody. Maybe we'll see her next season. Who knows? We saw Beck a little bit. Well, her spirit, and when she showed what he had done to her, all of this was just stabbed up. All of this whole area, just overkill. Poor thing. And they didn't elaborate on that either. It's like they found her, and then what? We got to finish these. We got to close up these storylines instead of just leaving them out there, leaving me to just come up with my own conclusion. I don't want to come up with my own conclusion. I want to see this play out. I want to know, did y'all investigate Beck's murder? Are we going to investigate a little bit further on where Delilah is? She's a manager of the whole apartment complex, and she's nowhere to be found. The police officer was on to something. Like, I would be all over Joe Will. Like, them headphones that you threw out. I would have looked into that. I would have been trying to find them things. Like, shoddy police work around here, for sure. Because Joe Will should definitely be under the jail by now. And he out in suburbia with Love and the baby, getting ready to stalk the next door neighbor. We'll be back next year. Or next season, excuse me, because I don't know when this thing gonna come back on. I feel like we waited a good 2 or 3 years for season 2. I would definitely, Good Girls is coming back. So if you don't know what that is, that's gonna be on live TV. I don't even think they have put the episodes from this latest season onto Netflix for Good Girls, but I will be reviewing Good Girls as well. And that'll be a week to week thing since it's, coming on TV on real time, not Netflix. So yeah, that was my little review for You season 2. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope if you haven't watched the series yet or haven't gotten into it, you should. I encourage you to. It's a good show. It just makes me upset. It makes me very angry because I don't ever like it when the evil person prevails, because it's like, nah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening in my reality. Evil ain't winning over here. So I don't want evil winning on my TV. I want evil to get what it's supposed to get. Okay? Anyway, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. My leg done fell asleep. The channel is Call Me Busby. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and light.